If you were to choose between a strong scary girl or a cute crazy girl, who would you pick? I know for sure I could not make the decision and end up losing both of them. But there is no problem because a third option would come with a girl that is both crazy and cute. And on top of that, look at that big hearth. As the bell rings, Satome, who is studying at Mothashiro Academy, which used to be a girls-only school, finds himself in the midst of emptying his tank. However, his privacy is interrupted as some girls, armed with giggles and grins, storm into the sacred realm, completely oblivious to Satome's bathroom activities. It seems they are not afraid of seeing the boys' ding-dong. And that's evident as not even a moment later my screen requires an emergency blur makeover because the cheeky girls are proudly flaunting their panty-free state as if they've just discovered the secret to world peace. This feels like a pixelated panty party and I'm the unwilling guest of honor. His mind hit the panic button, sending urgent warning signals like a malfunctioning fire alarm. In the middle of the blurry chaos, Satome thought, abort mission. Get out while you still can. Making the girls believe he's a shy guy who does not like girls' panties. It's been 2 months since Satome joined the school and he's reached a breaking point. He just wants to quit this place where he stands as the lonely guy surrounded by a whopping 359 girls. While most of us believe this is a blessing, for him it's quite the opposite. And I'll repeat, for him it's not the case. From his perspective, this school is filled with delinquent girls who all treat him poorly, and when he enters the classroom, they end up punching him out of the room where they've been changing. Thankfully, while being kicked out, he lands his head on a soft surface, reducing the damage. So far, this seems to be the most dangerous girl out there with her long legs and a super big collarbone. Just when his life is about to come to an end, a girl from his classroom appears, protecting him, asking the delinquent-looking girl to offer an apology. As a result, the delinquent girl simply leaves, prompting Satome to express his gratitude to the girl who happens to resemble a shy and cute classmate. She's incredibly kind, going so far as to offer her help if Satome needs anything. This gesture brings a sense of relief to him, making Satome believe that a genuinely normal person exists in this place. He even wonders if her niceness comes from both of them being forced to join the class committee. Today they were supposed to have a committee meeting, but apparently it got cancelled. That's why the girl suggests to have a lunch on the rooftop while discussing. At lunch break, while being on the rooftop, Satome suggests to return back in the class since the wind is so strong. However, his suggestion is turned down as the girl feels embarrassed with all the other girls watching her speak with a boy. Hearing that, Satome believes for a moment that she is aware of him being a guy, but quickly dismisses it until Satome's brain hits a glitch the moment he lays eyes on those black panties and cannot answer her anymore, making the girl worried he may not feel okay. And despite her effort, the boy's system starts overheating, leaving him temporarily unresponsive. After a few suspenseful seconds, he finally says he is fine. Yet, it appears that she just pretended not to know what is happening and that the boy actually looked under her skirt. She informs him not to worry about that, assuring that she's going to keep her mouth shut for the price of 10,000 yens. This revelation makes the boy realize she might not be as nice as he initially thought. Now, I start feeling bad for Satome, who thought he finally found a friend, only to discover that she turned out to be a bigger devil who acted nice just to take advantage of the situation. Taki even suggests this should be more exciting like this, looking at the panties of someone you know rather than some strangers. But our boy is so done with this that all he wishes is for a good soul to be around him, and he refuses to look at her in that way. That's when the girl turns 180, showcasing her firm rear end and mentioning that a squeeze would only cost 30k. However, the only thing Satome would pay for is a ticket to the comedy circus because this has become truly ridiculous. The girl showed everything on her own. That's why she suggests she tell everyone that Satome is a pervert and make his school life a disaster. But the boy cannot give a damn since he is planning on changing the school anyway. Unfortunately for him, someone took a photo of them from a perspective that made him look suspicious, and with that photo uploaded on the internet, not even changing schools would solve his problem. In the middle of the chaos, as the money-demanding girl gangs on the poor Satome, there's a sudden superhero entrance. Not your usual cape and tights hero, more like a well-endowed girl with the incredible power to make everyone's situations harder. Ready to take on the money-hungry villains, she tells them to delete the clip and go away as they are interrupting her nap time with their annoying laughter. Because of that, they believe she must be a friend of Satome, but that is not the case. She just hates seeing hoes like her using tricks to prey on people. Even so, the bully girl Taki does not show any trace of fear and confronts the hero girl, saying that the one at fault should be Satome, who looked at stuff he shouldn't. Hearing that, the hero, showcasing impressive flexibility, skillfully shoots the phone out of the villain's hands and leaps to grab it. In a surprising turn of events, the impressed villain stumbles over, landing right on Satome's face with a firm, bootylicious impact. She successfully deletes the photo, making Taki say that she will take embarrassing photos of her and post them online. This situation escalates more and more, and now the girls are ready to fight. Just when things are about to get wild, our frilly and somewhat clueless boy, Satome, jumps in and suggests the girls should not fight. Out of sheer instinct, the hero throws a punch, introducing him to the ground, where he hugs the cold surface for a short time. Now, while going down the stairs, the girl is apologizing for hitting him while he was just trying to stop them. But it's okay now that the bullies got scared and ran away. However, he is concerned about why she hadn't shown up earlier if she were around. According to her, the girl deliberately chose not to disturb him. From her perspective, they were having a good time and she didn't want to intrude on the enjoyment. Hearing all that, Satome is saying that she is surprisingly nice, much to her annoyance. However, they're now even. He accidentally bumped into her chest earlier and she just landed a hit on him. Being cornered like this, Satome is not able to say a word, making the girl believe he has a problem with her, but this is not the case. When he entered the school, he was surrounded by nothing but bad girls. He was shocked when he found out that even Taki was one of them. Finally, someone different appears and boldly declares that he believes girls like her are the cutest in the world. This statement causes her face and ears to turn all shades of red, prompting her to quickly turn around in embarrassment. Her name is Kuzuryu, and she tells Satome that if anything like this happens again, just call her, making him believe that in the school full of bad girls, she looked just like another one of them, but after taking a wisp at her pants. He understood that she's definitely not a bad girl. Hold up, what's he saying? Before this, in a moment of weakness, he was on the brink of leaving the school, but now he's decided he won't run away anymore. The next morning, he's at the train station, and at this time, it's like the place is practically overflowing with high school girls. Even on the train, while minding his own business and holding his bag with both hands, an angry girl starts shouting at him for supposedly touching her butt. This leaves him stuck in an uncomfortable position with both hands raised, just to avoid any further complaints. At school again, he doesn't get a moment to breathe because the girls are messing with him, attempting to put him in awkward positions by trying to expose various body parts. They are in the middle of clothing class and everyone is measuring their bodies. However, he tries his best not to get aroused. Now is the time for them to take his clothes off and measure his body. This starts looking more and more suspicious because two girls restrain him from behind while another one starts pulling his t-shirt down. While having this surprising view down and hearing her lewd words, he is about to break, but thankfully he is saved by the school bell ringing, signaling the end of whatever awkward situation was unfolding. Now, as he walks down the hallway regretting his life decisions, he bumps again into Kuzuryu, giving her the impression he's doing it on purpose. While she helps him gather his stuff, Satome becomes hypnotized by her gym clothes, which seem to embrace her big, kind heart. By the look of it, Satome was carrying some clothing materials, leading Kuzuryu to believe he wouldn't be able to finish all those by himself. However, the boy excuses himself, wishing her luck in her gym class. While working on the clothes, the memory of what Kuzuryu told him passes through his mind, but he does not want to bother her with all his troubles. Meanwhile, the girls from his group enter the room and ask about his work. Seeing that he is about to finish, one of the girls moves closer to him, playfully squishing her plushy companions into his arm and complimenting him. It seems that this plain boy is experiencing human contact for the first time because, just after that, he believes that this girl is actually sweet. However, his optimism takes a hit when she suggests leaving all the work in his hands and starts taking off those heavy clothes that were blocking the view. She tells him that he will see more than just a little tease, all he must do is work for them, and as a result, she will make him feel good. Even though the boy tries to resist, she puts on the Yandere face, treating him in an aggressive manner and threatening him. In a not-so-subtle tone, she demands that he's not going to say no and abandon her like all the other men. Finally, he grasps the gravity of the situation, but before he can escape, the girl grabs his hand and makes him take her measurements. Right at that awkward moment, the superhero Kuzuryu shows up at the window on the third floor, staring at them like a cop who caught someone stealing his donut. Once inside, she nonchalantly remarks that it seemed like they were having a lot of fun, so she decides to drop by and see what's going on. And now she decides to help out, making the other girls concerned that she is the crazy girl from the rumors, and leaves saying that Satome is being forgiven since he finished the assignment for them. Now, while alone with just the two of them, Kuzuryu confronts him about why he didn't tell her about the situation, and as we know, the boy thought it would be lame to come and ask for help with all his problems. And to add to the chaos, right now her giggly bosom is hanging free since her buttons decided to take an unscheduled break. I better make my exit now before my heart succumbs to a sugary overload and I'm diagnosed with diabetes. Apparently the girl had a feeling he was in danger, and the fastest way to reach him was by climbing a tree where most probably she had lost her buttons. Hearing that, Satome has the tendency to tell Kuzuryu that she's a girl and she shouldn't have done that. On another day, Satome is feeling lonely during the lunch break as everyone around him is having fun, chatting with their friends while he awkwardly stands alone. Even though he does not have any friends, he is disturbed by girls wherever he goes and searches for a place just for himself when he bumps into Hanako in the boys' bathroom. She went there since the other bathrooms are busy, and for Satome that is not a problem because girls are always invading the boys' bathroom. Upon hearing that, she assures him that nobody will enter while he is inside, so he can go carefree. However, the boy had planned to eat inside, making the situation awkward. Kuzuryu won't let him do that and invites him to join her at her usual spot. Once she arrives on the rooftop, she jumps on the wall, and with moves smoother than a buttered pancake, she ascends with the grace of someone who's clearly watched one too many ninja movies. When it's Satome's turn, he gazes at the wall with the enthusiasm of a potato contemplating its fate in a world of French fries. Recognizing the impending impossibility of the climb, he receives a helping hand from Kuzu, who, in his eyes, might as well be a ninja superhero with a side gig in rooftop rescues. After telling Satome that he could come to this place for lunch, he is suggesting that he cannot climb alone, meaning that he should be with Kuzu every time. Making her happy, suggesting that this would be their secret spot. Not too long after that, Kuzu falls asleep, impressing the boy who had never seen a girl sleeping. Thinking that he should not be sitting around the vulnerable girl, he decides to go down, but unfortunately he cannot do that alone. When attempting to adjust the girl's clothes to avoid any mishap with his lower body, the girl, who is blissfully unaware and sound asleep, unleashes her inner ninja, grabbing him in a peculiar chokehold and showcasing her dazzling white undies until the boy blacks out. Later, when she wakes up, Shuzu assumes the boy has also taken a nap and attempts to rouse him as their break is over. However, to her surprise, he remains unresponsive, lost in a dream world where her pristine white panties occupy his thoughts. Later that day, after the lunch break, Satome finds himself in an awkward predicament during sports class, left without a partner as nobody seems willing to pair up with him. Just when it seems like a lonely stretch ahead, Taki unexpectedly approaches him from behind and suggests they team up, revealing that she also lacks a partner. This realization prompts Satome to decide that it's time for him to become more cautious about trusting girls so easily in the future. As Taki helps Satome stretch his back, she gives him a gentle push with her delicate collarbones, leaving him momentarily stunned. Suggesting they hang out after classes, she offers him the choice to spend time with her normal self or her honor student persona, leaving the decision to Satome. Before parting ways, Taki assures Satome that she'll be waiting for him. While watching the girls play basketball, Satome decides it's best to keep to himself as much as possible despite the enjoyment he finds in physical education. However, as he admires the smooth movements of the bouncing balls, an unexpected collision occurs. A basketball smacks him square in the face. The impact causes his nose to start bleeding, attracting the attention of one of the girls who approaches him. Amidst the confusion, some girls speculate that his nosebleed is a result of some naughty thoughts. While there may be some truth to it, Satome defends himself, blaming the incident squarely on the ball that rudely interrupted his reverie. Observing the scene with concern, Taki persists in her worry behavior. Despite the boy's initial refusal, she continues to insist that she won't let him go alone, determined to tag along. After escorting him to the nurse's office, Taki helps Satome with gentle care, inserting cotton pads into his nose to staunch the bleeding. Grateful for her assistance, Satome expresses his thanks. However, Taki sees this mishap as an opportunity to skip class, allowing glimpses of her true personality to surface. Acknowledging the incident on the rooftop, Taki offers an apology to Satome, admitting that her intentions were initially motivated by a desire for pocket money, but she ended up going too far. Despite this admission, Satome accepts her apology, albeit with a clear boundary. He only wants to focus on his committee work, preferring to keep his time at school as uneventful as possible. When Taki questions if he still doubts her, Satome reassures her, stating firmly that he has no intentions of spreading any rumors about her, using the term slut. He emphasizes that she should stay calm and not worry about such things. Taki seems to accept his assurance, thanking him. However, her actions speak louder than words as she throws her bra onto Satome's body, hinting at a deeper complexity to her character. As she suggests, she doesn't go with just anyone. As long as it's Satome, Taki asserts that she's willing to show him anything he desires. However, Satome has already turned away, closing his eyes, refusing to indulge in the marvelous view before him. Aware of Taki's tendencies, Satome understands that catching a glimpse of her collarbones would likely come with a price tag. Taki doesn't deny this and tells him that all her boyfriends take her out to eat and bring her gifts all the time, prompting the boy to clarify that they are not her boyfriends and those gifts were merely compensatory. On top of that, he is not her boyfriend. Taki's demeanor shifts, becoming more assertive as she leaps onto the bed, straddling him. She declares that if this is the case, she's fine with Satome becoming her boyfriend. Satome, taken aback by the sudden confession, dismisses it as a joke, believing himself to be too dull for such a proposition. That's why he declines, suggesting the two of them cannot go out after all that happened, and beside that, Taki should treasure her body more and stop showing her body so easily. With that, Taki retrieves her bra from the bed, teasingly suggesting that she might find herself falling even more in love with him despite any annoyance he may feel. As Satome suggests they should return, believing Taki has already dressed, he turns his head, only to be met with the sight of another two bouncing balls in front of his eyes, making the girl suggest he must take responsibility. However, he suggests he did not see anything, but the girl could not care less and tells him that because he became her boyfriend, the price would be only 3,000 yens. Which surprises the boy as she considers that if he truly were to be her boyfriend, he is still supposed to pay for this kind of things, prompting Taki to remind him that he was the one who advised her to treasure her body more. That's when their moment is interrupted by a sleepy Hanako who stumbles upon them, capturing the two in an indecent posture, prompting her swift exit. In an attempt to explain, Satome rushes after her, but Hanako is too furious to listen, expressing her indifference to Satome's explanation and implying she doesn't care if that is what he likes. In an attempt to explain, Satome is left bewildered, wondering why she's so angry. But his excuses feel more fake as his nose is bleeding, leading her to believe he is just a pervert. Meanwhile, Taki is extremely furious as Kuzuryu has appeared again in an important moment, causing Satome to completely ignore her. Now, thinking about the boy who lectured her, she becomes embarrassed and tries to brush it off, telling herself she shouldn't care about what that boy said. Summer has come, and today's volunteer work is cleaning the pool. As always, Satome is alone with his thoughts, thinking that the girls keep on playing around without giving a hand, and because of that he predicts that the sun will set before they manage to finish the task. When they end up all wet, the girl asks Satome to cover for them while going to change, letting him show anger after they left. From behind, someone remarks on their carefree attitude. It turns out Taki stayed with the boy and suggests they would be able to finish if they work together. However, despite her seemingly kind gesture, Satome can't shake the feeling that Taki might have ulterior motives, suspecting that she just wants to manipulate him once again. But as she is saying, this is not pretending, she really believes they can do it if they work together. But if that is how the boy is seeing her, she should do something about it, and in the next moment, she takes off her clothes, revealing her swimsuit, which, to be honest, I'm sorry you cannot see. But when things become interesting, Shusa shows up again, suggesting that Taki is really shameless. Apparently, even though she was not supposed to be here, Shizu heard that Satome's class would be in charge of cleaning the pool after school and thought she would come and help. But it looks like she's just going to be a third wheel here. When Satome tries to stop her, Taki intervenes, suggesting that the two of them can handle the task just fine and that the help of a delinquent like her is not needed. This prompts Shizu to jump in, telling her to stop blackmailing Satome before saying anything like that. As a fight was about to start between the two, Satome intervenes, suggesting that they should try to get along for now. He proposes that as a first step they should introduce themselves, which does not look like is working as he expected. Sometime later, as they keep on cleaning that pool, Shizu shows amazing dexterity which makes the things move way faster than before. Observing the scene, Taki can't help but believe that Satome and Shizu are incredibly close, which prompts her to question why she feels the need to compete with Shizu so fiercely. As she continues to steal glances at the two of them, enjoying their evident camaraderie, Taki finds herself growing increasingly annoyed. After all, Satome is just her toy, she reminds herself. Lost in her thoughts and oblivious to her surroundings, Taki accidentally bumps into a bucket filled with water, drenching Shizu. Annoyed by the sudden splash, Shizu retaliates by grabbing the hose and spraying water all over Taki, suggesting that accidents happen. And with that, a water battle begins between the two of them, ending up with Satome alone being the only one who cleans. However, as the fight affects the surroundings, Shizu slips and lands on top of the hardworking boy, who is now taking a relaxing moment, gazing through the clouds. As Shizu is not able to get up because the floor is way too slippery, Taki tries to push her off the boy, but when the other girls have showed up, an image taken out of the movies is unfolding down in the pool. The next day, the rumor have spread throughout all the school, and to make it even worse, the girls are not even trying to deny it. While Shizu believes there is nothing else to say about it as they were only cleaning the pool, Taki believes Satome is finally going to take responsibility and become her boyfriend, since this is quite troubling for the status of the honor student. Meanwhile, the boy is frustrated as the two of them don't seem to care about the rumors, and he begins to think that he will never be able to understand the inner workings of a woman's mind. When the school day ends, for our lonely boy Satome, it's not the end of his melancholy. While most of the students from his school would go to meet guys from other schools, he finds himself all alone by himself. But today, when walking on the street, he bumps into Ushigome, who is dressed in her casual clothes, revealing her forms. Together with her is a person who looks slightly older, who observed the two of them staring at each other. But when he asked about it, she suggests that she does not even know him and leave. Now thinking about what she said about how lots of pappies would pay to see her body, he realizes that she could really have a sugar daddy. The next day, during lunch break, while on the rooftop with Shizu, he keeps thinking about the encounter and how Taki couldn't even admit they are friends in front of her sugar daddy. As lunchtime is about to end, Satome barely touches his food, prompting Shizu to believe that something is wrong. Satome, feeling uncertain, seeks confirmation from Shizu about their friendship. As the question catches Shizu by surprise, she starts blushing, and when about to reveal how she feels about him, a voice is calling for Satome. It's Ushigome, who wants to speak with Satome for a second, prompting him to leave Shizu alone. Apparently, the girl wanted to apologize for ignoring him the other day, explaining that it would have been awkward to explain how she talks to other guys, which our boy does not mind. She confides in him, asking to keep their conversation a secret from everyone, even revealing that the person Satome saw her with the other day is indeed her sugar daddy. Concerned, Satome suggests that she should stop engaging in such activities. Shizu initially interprets his comment as referring to adult things, but she clarifies that they haven't done anything like that yet. For now, they're just hanging out and eating together. This girl seems so carefree, unaware of what's to come. And now, while looking at her phone and seeing another date planned, Ushigome abruptly leaves, not giving Satome the chance to say anything else. Sometime later, while in class, Satome is lost in his thoughts as he didn't manage to say anything more, believing Ushigome shouldn't engage in that kind of things. Noticing his preoccupation, Taki, who knows about this situation, tells him that what Ushigome does is her business, and as long as she's not bothering anyone, she should be allowed to do as she pleases. Apparently she overheard what the two of them have spoke. She suggests that someone like Ushigome, who may seem naive, would need to have a lot of savvy to succeed in compensated dating. Taki even implies that she herself wouldn't engage in such risky behavior as going out with strangers for money. However, if it were Satome, she wouldn't mind, hinting at her high chances of winning over the boy's heart. As she speaks, she reveals some white material she has inside her skirt. On another part of this universe, Ushigome is together with her sugar daddy at a recently opened place that appears to be empty. And by the look of it, something bad is about to happen.